and this is Ozike TV. I know some of you have been watching my videos, some of my subscribers already. Well, today I'm a YouTuber based in Lagos. I didn't go to work today. There's curfew in Lagos, so I tried to. Why don't I do a live show? Why don't I talk to people about what is happening in Lagos? There's a curfew in Lagos. I want to talk about this end stars of the thing, the protests, the killings, and the denial by the army that they didn't do anything. So let's talk. Let's share our views. Let's interact. Let's see how far we can go. So about this end stars of a thing. When this initially started, the young people were just, they were just trying to let the government know that, you see, things, we want a change. But the government thought that, these young people, they don't know what they're talking about. So, and they were peaceful all along. They were really peaceful. They were organized. They didn't want any problem. I've never seen where you have protesters and they were cleaning up the environment. And no, there had been people infiltrated the camp, people that didn't mean well. They just wanted to give them a bad name, like giving a dog a bad name to hang it. So that was the problem. It was hijacked. These guys were peaceful. They were not looking for trouble at all. They were going about this thing legitimately. I mean, it's within their fundamental human rights to protest, so long as there's no violence, and they ensured that there was no violence. But you see, our government, we have an intolerant government. They didn't see why would they protest in the first place? Why wouldn't they protest? And SARS, do you know how many people they have killed? SARS was formed to combat crime, armed robbery, kidnapping. But they turned around and they were now the ones hounding the people, dealing with the people, doing all manner of things. They engaged in rape. Yes. They raped women. They raped people. They kidnap people forcefully. They will take you. They say you're fine. Like, I have these dreadlocks. See my dreadlocks? That's my hair. That's how I want to look. It's nobody's business. You have dreadlocks, you're not a good person. You're not responsible. You have tattoos. Oh, you must be crazy. Then you pierce any part of your body and put a earring or something. Then you're a problematic person. Is that how to gauge character? Physically, is that how to gauge character? You have dreadlocks, you are not a good person. That's how somebody wants to look. That you have dreadlocks or you have piercings or stuff like that. Those things, they don't make you a criminal. Haven't you seen clean-shaven people who are criminals? But they carry people, they take you against your wish. They will not even allow you to contact your family members. When you see 4 hefty men descending on one tiny boy, pummeling him, that is how it is. So we do not even know. The thing keeps on going. But this youth, they said, they were not even asking for, they were not even asking for a change of regime. No. They were saying, see, the way the government is going, we do not like it. We don't like what is happening. We don't like what is going on. So that's it. But you see, our people, they don't want it. As far as they are concerned, these youths, oh, who do you think you are? Who are you? Who do you think you are? So that is a problem. And these young ones, I mean, it's not something they can take That was how the problem started. Things started escalating. Other people came in, people that didn't mean well. You see, when you see people that are doing something they have already planned to do, they have an agenda. They have a purpose for what they are doing. When you see such, you would know that these people are organized. They know what they want to achieve. Until you started seeing people coming from somewhere else to disrupt the organized protest. They were not killing anybody. They were not beating anybody. They were organized so much so that even at Lekki, there was someone stole somebody's handset. There was a pickpocket there. You know, they handed the guy over to the police. They didn't kill him. So where did this violence come from? Where did it emanate from? You know, our government will just come and cook up something, tell us this one happened, that one happened. For what? Just to brand these people, oh, you people are not doing the right thing. You people are bad. So that if international community will hear it and say, oh, the youth are actually the problem. The youth, they are not the problem. We know who the problem is. The political class is the problem. Have you seen them at the National Assembly snoring away? Most of them, they have never proposed a single bill. They're there every morning cutting away money, cutting away millions, 29 million for one person. And they want these young people to keep quiet. Just from school, there's no job for you. I don't have to just, you must know somebody who is somebody. You don't just know anybody. That anybody must be somebody. Otherwise, nothing for you. And you say, no, we cannot continue like this. We cannot continue running away to other countries where we are second-class citizens. No, we don't want it. We want to be in our nation. We want to be in our country. We want to contribute meaningfully here. We are productive. We are fruitful. We want to do this thing. And these people say, no, you cannot. No, we do not. So then I said, okay, let's see what happens. Until you listen to us, until you talk to us, we are not going anywhere. All the protests, all the places that they protested, all the towns, all the cities, all the states, nobody said, oh, these people didn't do the right thing. Nobody. But they brought in hoodlums, came in to disrupt the thing. In Lagos, yesterday, it was 2010, 2020, Black Tuesday. That was it. It was a Black Tuesday. And how come all this? We didn't even hear that they deployed police people to Orile where they burnt somewhere. No, we didn't hear that. But they had the time. They had the time, the resources to come to Lekki, to go to Lekki. They had it. Even the curfew was hurriedly done. People had already gone to work. So there was no way that yesterday that people could get to home, get to their homes by 4 o'clock at all. It's not possible. Because because the thing came in very late when people already at work. So that is the problem. And they just kept on killing people. They were telling us that nobody died. How come? At Lekki, nobody died. And who would even believe that? Who would believe that? Nobody died. That was what they were telling us. That was what they are telling people, that nobody died. But the people died. How come? Why would it be that night that there will be no light there? No light. So that the army or whoever they were sending could have unfettered access to the place and carry out the mayhem without anybody recognizing them or knowing who they are. But we know that those people that came, they were soldiers. Didn't they wear their uniform? Did they fall from heaven? Did they come from under the earth? Were they ghosts? I don't know human beings. But army came and army was telling us that no, we didn't do anything. We are innocent. What we heard was fake news. Oh, fake news. How? How is it fake news? So who were the people that shot at those people? Who done it? Let me say it like that. Who done it? Who were the people that did that thing at Lekki Tollgate last night? When you're talking to people about something, you just let us know that we are not fools. You know, the governor came out today to address Lagosians, and he was saying that no, there was no casualty. Look at his statement. He said that there was no casualty. You know, he said yesterday's events were not that some of the darkest gradients of our history as a state and as a people. Oh, that is the problem. Nobody died. It is not possible. It is not possible. People couldn't just die and say that nobody died. After it was reported in the media, some other media, they reported it. But the man said that the thing was even beyond his control. It was nothing he could do. You know, he is not in charge of the army. He's not in charge of the army. All right? He's not in charge of the army. So that is the problem. He's not in charge of the army. He cannot, but he can. I don't think that the governor would tell us that he didn't know about this thing, about these people that came. Because these people, they are human beings. These people are human beings and they did not fall from the sky. They did not fall from the sky at all. So I don't know where these people came from. But we will not relent. You know, it is a pity that they resorted to killing for something that people were protesting peacefully. It was a peaceful protest. And, you know, when I was thinking that, I thought they said that if you're with your flag, that nobody will shoot at people with their nation's flag. But these guys had their flag. They even raised the flag. They were even singing national anthem, yet they were dealt with. Is that how to be a nation? Is this governance? Is this democracy? I'm asking, is this democracy? How come? They are telling us that nobody died, this one happened, that one happened. We cannot take it. We cannot be deceived. And nobody should be deceived. The aftermath of this, nobody should be deceived at all because we know what is happening. This is not the first time. The government enjoys inflicting injuries on its people. How can a government kill its people? People are asking you for good governance, provision of basic amenities. Give us light. Let us have water, good roads. They're not even asking for too much. Just the basic things. Yet, government does not like it. They don't like what the people are asking for. No, why should it be the youth? Why should the youth be the ones disturbing us? Are they the ones that will tell us what to do? Are they the ones that will tell us what to do? Now look at what happened. Massive destruction. Look at today. Massive destruction everywhere. Fire everywhere. They're setting fire. They're setting everywhere on fire. MPA building set on fire. TVC. You see, when they were doing your view this morning, they disrupted it. Hoodlums surrounded the place. Yes, they did. They surrounded the place. And the people, they were afraid. They burnt BRT buses, the terminal at Oyinbo, Lagos. They burnt the place. So many places were set on fire. So many lootings were going on. So many, if you check Twitter, there are so many lootings, so many places at Lekki. They looted shops. I know one of the shops that I patronized, the bag shop. They looted the bag shop. So they were showing it on Instagram. They looted the bag shop. Those ones, they're just using that so that people will say, oh, these protesters. No. I don't believe that the protesters are the ones that did that. I don't believe so. They're not the ones that did that. The people that did this thing came from somewhere else. They came from somewhere else. They are not the ones that did that. So what are we talking about? What we are saying is the government should not give a dog a bad name just because it wants to hang it. It will not work. The army is telling us we don't know what happened. It's not us. Is it possible? Is it possible where we have all these formations in Lagos? We have Zone 2 over there. We have this one over there. We have Area F over there. And these people just came from nowhere. The camp is there, nowhere. They just came from nowhere. That means we can be in this town and be surrounded, and all of us will be taken out, and nobody will tell us that, oh, something happened. So for how long are we going to be like this? For how long? Is it working out? Is it working out? We cannot continue doing this. We cannot continue pretending that things are going well. Things are not going well. People are demanding good governance. They are saying, end police brutality. If you have not had any issues with police in this Nigeria, you have not started. I have been a victim of SARS, this thing they are doing. Yes, my car had an issue. The number plate fell off. One. So when they saw it, they were calling me. They called me on the phone to come to the office. I refused to go. I said I wasn't coming. They called me for 2 days to come there. The one I was going, I had to go with a lawyer and my brother. So they don't keep me there and label me an armed robber. I want to tell them that the thing fell off. There was nothing. There was nothing to eat. They allowed me to go home. These people are mean. You don't pray to have them around you. Don't pray to see them anywhere. No, you don't pray that. Now the youth is telling the government, our government, we are part of you. Just listen to us. Up till now, with the things happening, the president has not even bothered to anybody. Has not bothered to talk to us. They proscribed SARS. They introduced SWAT. It's not the same thing. It's just a change in nomenclature. Nothing else. There is nothing else there. So they're saying we don't end SARS, end SWAT. We are not saying that we are not. What this agitation is about is not that we don't want a tactical team that will combat crime. No, we of course not. But it has to be done in the right way. It has to be done the right way. We're not saying that, oh, no. No, we are not saying that. Let it be done the right way. Let it be done properly. Let it be done appropriately. What are the qualifications of the people that will be in the new team? Is this still the same police? From the same police, is this where they are going to get these people from? If it is from these same people, it will not work. Because they have the same orientation. They have the same orientation. The same everything. So it's not going to work. If that is the thing, it's not going to work. That's people are saying, no, it's not going to work. Why are you giving us this thing again? It's like putting an old wine in a new bottle. You see it work. It will not work. So that is the problem. They should have to let us know that they have changed. The government should be a listening government. It should be a listening government. So that is the problem. But the government is not ready to be a listening government. I don't know what they want us to do, whether they want us to run away, whether they want to fly away and leave the place for only them. So that is the problem. So I don't actually know what they want us to do. The violence has dominated the protest already, But although that we have curfew in Lagos, you see, the police has not arrested anybody. At least, so long as you're not planning anything, you're moving along. They're moving. They are not stopping anybody at all. So people should conduct themselves well. Don't go and put yourself in a situation where you'll be looking for someone to bail you, or someone to come and maybe your parents looking for you or anything. This is a good cause. A good cause, and it must be achieved. We should not look away from the goal, because we have a place we are going. We should not look away from that. We should not just forget it and say, oh, maybe it's not working. It is working. It is working. I think it will end well. It will end well, because People are not people are no longer deceived. It's no longer there is no deception again. Everybody's eyes have opened. The scale see clear. We can see better. We have the interest of our country at heart. We can see better. We can do better. Now, politicians will be using the use. No, I'm sure it will not happen again. With this thing, this awareness that has been created now. You see, the youth, they will not be used anymore. They will not be used to foment trouble. They will not be used during elections. No, they will not be used anymore because they know better. They know that their future is at risk. Yes, their future is at risk. If they continue collecting pittance, each time they will do election, they will use them to go and cause problem. Meanwhile, their own children are abroad. So when they win, the children will come and they keep enjoying. Going from one country to the other. You go. So we are saying, no, we cannot continue. So that is the problem. We cannot continue like this. We cannot continue this way. I don't know why they are clamping down on youth. They want to silence them. They want to make it look as if the youth are violent. We know they are not violent. The army is telling us all that you've been hearing, they are fake news. And we are asking the army, give us the correct news. Reveal the identity of the people that came last night. Let us see who they are. Let us see who they are. Tell us who are these people. Reveal their identity. Their mission, we have already found out their mission. To kill, to destroy, to cause problem, to destroy, to stop abruptly what these young people are doing. What is your gain? What is your gain? As if they use saying that, oh, no, we don't want this government. That's not what they're saying. It's not a change of regime. Is please let us have good governance. Please, the police should not kill us. That is what the youth are saying. The police should not kill us. We are the future of the nation. These youths are entrepreneurs. Some of them are entrepreneurs. They have things they're doing. Check out the Western world. Check out the Western world. Most of their medical doctors, they are from Nigeria. And they are doing so well for themselves. So why is it that here in Nigeria, they're not recognized? Whatever they do is not okay for the government. I wear dreadlocks is a problem. The government should engage the youth in constructive discussions because we have intelligent people amongst us here. We have them. We cannot be recycling old politicians year in, year out, year in, year out. No, we cannot be doing that anymore. They should go and rest. You're a governor for 8 years. After 8 years, you will struggle to enter to be at the Senate. And you'll be snoring there, snoring every time. At the end of the month, they pack money and give you. Not even a single constituency project. Not even a single constituency project in your home. There is nothing to show for it. Yet the guys are not shameless. I'm telling you, they're not shameless at all. They are shameless. I meant to say, excuse me. They are shameless. How can you be in a state for 8 years? You're the governor for 8 years, 8 good years, and there is nothing to show for it. And you will come out. Instead of you to go and rest, you want to be at the Senate. That is where all of them do. When you are 70 years, you're going to the Senate. 75 years into the Senate. When will these young ones, when will they take over? When I was a child, when I was in primary school, primary school, secondary school, that time we used to do history in school. History. Some of the guys there now, when I was a child, I've been hearing their names since I was a child. They are still there today. How old am I today? And they are still there. And they are telling us, wait for what? For how long will we wait? They have served they have done their own. They have served their purpose. They should leave. You see this crop of politicians, they should go. We should just sweep them away. Sweep them away into the gutter. Let them leave us alone. Let them go. Allow the youth to, let's try the youth. We have tried the people. No, you are not doing well. Let's try the youth. Stop killing the generation that will take over. When you are done killing the youth, who will not come? Who will take over? Who will take over? I'm telling us that nobody died. I'm saying that they are denying. Why are they denying? Is it that Buhari does not know who came? The president, he does not know who came. Chief of Army Staff does not know who came. The governor does not know who came. How we know who came? We are telling them that the citizens of this nation, Lagosians, we know who came, who were at Lekki. Why would they switch off the light? You see, this government is so insincere. That is the problem. The government is so insincere. What they tell you today is not what they tell you tomorrow. See, you cannot love somebody and every time you are lying to that person and you expect that person to believe you. It is not possible. It is not at all. They have lied to us for a long time. This particular SARS, this same SARS, how many times have they prospered us? How many times have they prospered us? Over 4 times. Even last year, there was a reform. They said, okay, there's a reform. There's a report. There's a particular report that was presented to President Buhari. There's a report on this particular SARS, on the reformation of SARS. They had a report. Have they bothered to even look at the report? To even implement what the report said? No. Because I'm sure that if they had looked at that report properly, I'm sure today we may not be having this thing. Because most of the things that could address what the things that were wrong with the SARS will be in that report. But we're still here. If report after report, every day, report after report, that is the problem. Is it the Constitutional Conference? We had reports. Oh, we have loads of reports over the years. But none, they have never been able to implement one. But they spend humongous amounts preparing the reports, paying the people that will be sitting on the panel every day, enriching them. But, that is not that is the issue. Why? Our government likes to spend money on things like that, just to show that, okay, we are doing something. Let us just let them know. Let them just see that we are doing something. You see, we are tired of seeing what they're doing. We want action. We want implementation. Action, implementation, that is all we want. It's not enough to put things in place. Like, okay, we'll do this and do that. After all that, what about the implementation? Let us see what you are implementing. Let us see, okay, if you sent me to go and buy something for soup, I want to cook soup. Okay, go to the market and buy, I want to cook soup. I went to the market, bought the things, I get home, you don't want to cook the soup. And you're telling me that you're hungry. Why won't you be hungry? You will be hungry because I refuse to cook. That is what is happening to this government. All the reports, all the reforms, they keep telling people, do this, do that, do this, do that. They will do the reforms. There will be recommendations. Government will fail to implement it. Until we implement it, we will be going round and round. It's like a vicious circle. You keep moving. It's like a rocking chair. You are rocking, you're going nowhere. That's what it is. You're just rocking on the place. You go front, you go back. You go front, you go back. But at the end of the day, no progress made. That is the government we have. And you see, when things like this happen, death everywhere, blood is smelling. Blood is smelling. You will not hear anybody. Nobody is coming to say anything. Nobody is saying anything. And the youth are saying, we will not leave the streets. We are already here. We have started this thing. We will finish it. We will not leave. We will continue until you listen to us. Somebody must talk to us. And it's not just, don't send your errand boys to come to us. We want, the president should address this nation. The president is always doing this thing. When COVID-19 came in, that was what happened. It's like people were begging him to talk to them. Talk to us. Talk to us. Talk to us. Talk to us. He didn't want to talk to us. We're not begging him. Talk to us now. We want to hear your voice. We want to hear your voice. You know, like when a child is crying and the mother comes, you know, some people may be coming to tell the child, okay, don't cry, it's okay. It's okay now. Stop crying. Stop crying. The child will be crying. The child is waiting for one particular person to come to tell them, oh yeah, sorry, it's okay, sorry. Once that person tells that child, sorry, you see, the child will say, okay, the child will not be happy. That is what we are waiting for. We are waiting for somebody to come and talk to us. We are waiting for somebody to come and tell us, oh, this thing is like this thing is like this. We are waiting for that person. But that person doesn't want to come and talk to us, doesn't want to come and listen to us. How can your children be hungry and you are a parent? You look the other way as if you do not know that you should take care of your children. Who will feed them for you? Did anybody beg you to have kids? That is what is happening in Nigeria. You are the one that came out to tell us that Jonathan is not doing well. This one, if I'm in there, look at their agenda, APC. Give us 6 months, we fix the light. Give us this month, we fix this. Give us this debt, we'll do that. Till today, the same problem. The problems have persisted. When are we going to go to this El Dorado? When are we going to have this? When are we going to have this nice, good life? Is it when heaven falls? Is it when heaven falls? We say we want good government. We want good life. Give us life. Give us water. Give us good roads. Some places you cannot even pass. There are no roads. There are no roads at all. Insecurity everywhere. Kidnapping everywhere. To even travel from Lagos to the eastern part of Nigeria is a problem. You remember you want to travel. Your heart will just sink. Nobody wants to travel because the roads are bad. They are terrible. How many people can afford flight tickets? And they keep increasing the thing as the days go by. And you are telling the young ones not to protest. And these guys were protesting peacefully, yet the army. How can you look at somebody and you are shooting at that person and the person is unarmed? And they told us that if you carry flag, so even the flag itself does not even mean anything. The governor is telling us that they will put the flag at half-mast. Who is talking about half-mast? If the government had done what they were supposed to do, who would be talking about half-mast? Who will even remember that somebody will die? The way they waste life there. Life doesn't mean anything to our people. Life here. Our lives here, our lives here don't matter. What matters is force, brutal force. They will warn you today, warn you in the morning, that's when they have come. They have rolled out their army. They have rolled out everything against the people they should protect. And the army is telling us, no, we didn't do it. What you heard was fake news. What I heard was fake news. The fake news. Who came? How did they strategize this thing? How did they do it? How did they plan it? Yet you're telling us that nothing happened. Like, the people, they were not soldiers. They were not soldiers. Who came? Those people that came there, they're not soldiers. Who gave them the gun? The sound of that gun, where did they get it from? Were they using stick? The youth have tried. See, the patients have run out. It's no longer there. You know, there's a way someone will be dealing with you and you'll be enjoying it, but at a particular time, you just lose it. That is what is happening now. Now they have woken from deep slumber. I don't think Nigeria will never be the same again. Nigeria will never be the same again because our youth now are aware of what is happening. They know what is happening and they cannot keep quiet. They cannot keep quiet. So they will not leave the streets. So they will not leave the streets. So government must do the needful. You do the needful, and they are not violent. They will listen. Tell them, okay, we have seen your agenda, we have seen your agitations, we will talk to you. We will listen to you. Talk to them, they are not fools. There are multimillionaires amongst them there. There are big boys and big girls among them. Did you see how they organize themselves? They were cooking their meals, doing their things, sweeping the streets, charging their phones, doing everything in orderly manner. Yet, it's like killing a man who is sleeping, or killing somebody is lying down, having a nice rest, and you just go there and pour out of the person, or you go there and shoot a person. That's exactly what this government did, bringing instruments of war in a time of peace. That's what they did. How are they going to see the situation? Because hoodlums have already hijacked it, and you find that when these hoodlums were all the places that they acted at Ikorodu, Orile, we didn't see any army there. We didn't see anybody there. When they burnt that police station, we didn't see. So you are now telling us that we have two laws: one for the protesters, one for the hoodlums. That's what they're telling us. The people that they went to deal with at Lekki Tollgate, they were not armed. They were peaceful. No motorist said that they molested them there. Nobody complained of being molested at Lekki Tollgate. But at Orile, at Ikorodu, Ikorodu is a city for cults. So many cults are there. Who went there? Did the army go there? Did they deploy soldiers to that place? No. Orilenko? No way. But at Lekki Tollgate, because maybe somebody's business was affected. Because since all these things were happening, the toll gate was nobody was collecting any toll. So somebody's business was affected, and the person couldn't hold it anymore. Of course, the business that had been bringing billions of money every week was affected, and the people felt concerned. Okay, you cannot disrupt our business and still think that we will allow you to be. No, we will not. I'm sure they know what happened there. They actually know what happened at that place. On Friday, it was a mosque. The place was turned to a mosque. They were praying. Sunday, it was a church. They were praying. Tuesday, it was a massacre ground. And you want us to lie down and sleep and forget this? No, we cannot forget this. This 2020, this year 2020, will go down in history as maybe the best year. The best year of the century. I'm telling you, because so many things have happened. So many things, from the COVID-19 pandemic to the EndSARS protest. So many things have happened. And we'll continue talking. This talking will not stop. But we will talk. We will talk, continue talking until the right people come out to listen. Until the right people come out to say, oh, we are sorry, we should have listened to you a long time ago. It's not about changing from SARS to SWAT. The same SARS, SS, starting with S, ends in S, the same. It cannot continue. People are no longer deceived. Okay, the deception can no longer go on. Everybody is now waiting. The way it is for people now is like, let 2023 be tomorrow, so that we show these people what we can do. That is it. That is what they are waiting for. When you see 2023, before you know it, will be there. By the grace of God, we will be there. All these things will stop. The army has a question. We need an answer to them. We need an answer from them. Who were the people that came? They should reveal the identities of the people that came. The governor should also tell us, oh, look at these people, he cannot tell us, he cannot claim ignorance of what happened. How can he tell us that he didn't know the people that came? How did they come? How did they know where the light was to go and switch it off? How? It cannot continue. It cannot continue at all. Because, no. Things have to change. That is what I'm saying. Things have to change. People have done so much. So many evil has happened. You know, they are looting shops. They are doing so many evil things. They are looting shops everywhere. You know, they are looting shops. So we cannot continue like this. Now, somebody is saying, this is Instagram. Somebody is saying, this man came to the ground to address the people. We denied him because he's a political person. They're talking about one man, once his name, Abiodun Bolarinwa, brought out a gun and shot down 3 protesters. And they're telling us that nobody came. What is this? That they didn't know, nobody died. It cannot continue like that. It cannot continue like that. You know, I don't know. I don't know. We have to do something. The government needs to listen to these protesters. We need to listen to these people because it is very, very important. We all want good governance. We all want our country to move on. We all want progress. Who doesn't want peace? We want peace. We want peace. We want the good life for our people. So the thing is, the earlier the government started listening to the people, the better. Good policies. Listen to the youth. They are the future of the nation. They are telling you, let us do something. This your whatever it is that the government is doing, the people want to be part of it. The youth want to be, they want to be part of it. I mean, is it bad? Is it wrong for them to want to join the government to be part of what is happening? They want to lend their voice. You know, it's a good cause. But our government says no, we don't want it. We don't want you. We cannot listen to you. You don't know what you're talking about. You people are too insensitive. When will the president address the nation? When? Is it when these people come again to look? When? Is it when these people come again to look for another set of people to kill? It is not proper. It's not proper. You need to hear. You cannot be. It's like you're a parent. You have children, and those children, you don't want to hear their opinion about anything at home. Are you leading morons? You're talking to people that are reason, people that are productive, people that take care of themselves. Very many of them don't even have jobs. Some have master's degree among them, even PhD, no job. In a land flowing with milk and honey, no job. Who are the jobs for? A select few. Why? So these ones, they are not part of the process. They're not part of the nation. For how long? We cannot continue like this. That is what the youth are saying. We cannot continue like this. They are saying enough is enough. Enough is enough. So that is it. Enough is enough. You cannot continue like this. So it is not, yeah, it is not proper. It's not proper. Honestly, it's not proper. You know, it's not proper. We cannot continue this way. Okay, we cannot continue this way. We need a change. We need a change. We need a change. A change is inevitable. Right now, that is what the people want. Right now, that is what we deserve. We deserve a change. We want to start seeing the good things. We want to start seeing the reforms. We want to start seeing them. It is not about staying there and telling them, releasing them, go and do this. After all, when the army was forming their Operation Crocodile Smile, they promised us that they are not going to use them against the protesters. They said that it's a yearly program. How come? What happened? What happened? They are telling us not to trust them. That's right. They are telling us not to trust them. You saw some people, oh, don't worry, this thing we are doing is not for you. We're not using it against you. It's just part of our keeping people safe, of protecting our, guarding our nation and everything. They said, okay, no problem. Yet, they did not keep their word. They did not keep their word at all. So you find that it cannot continue. It cannot continue. People have been deceived. And when you deceive somebody, it takes time to regain the trust. When you abuse trust, it takes time for the people to start trusting you again. And you will not blame them if they stop trusting you. Because you have to earn that trust. You have to. You did not do well by making them not to believe you. So you have to work harder to ensure that you rebuild trust. And it takes time. So you cannot muzzle the youth. You cannot tell people that you punish people because you like power. You like power. You want to hold on to power. You don't want to listen to the youth. You rather order them to die, kill them. A country that kills its young ones. It's like a mother that takes the life of her children. When a mother takes the life of her children, what happens to her? Will she be happy? Will she call herself a mother? Will she? I don't think so. She cannot call herself a mother. That is what is happening in Nigeria. This government has mothered sleep. How can it sleep? You have said there is no sleep. And anyone or everyone that have their hands in this thing, they have mothered sleep too. There is no peace for the wicked. They will not rest. Look at what is happening. These ones are burning everything. You know how much that this government has already lost. The country has lost so much. We are now at home again after 4 or 5 months. We are now at home, sit at home by force. People have things they are doing, things that give them money. Every time somebody will just clamp us that we are at home now. You don't even know how this week will go. Today is already Wednesday. And definitely tomorrow we are not getting anywhere tomorrow. We're not getting anywhere on Friday. It has started. That's how it normally starts. For how long? Give the youth a chance. Give them a chance to air their grievances. Hear what they want to say. Hear them out. They are human beings. They have they are stakeholders here. It's not only you. They are stakeholders here. You give them a chance so that they can be part of the process. And they will be happy. And you will be so amazed. You'll be amazed at the contributions they will bring and what they will bring to the table. You will. Because they are not babies. They know what they're doing. They know what they're saying. They are not babies. So I think the government should give the youth a chance. Don't kill these boys. Don't kill these girls. A person. So that is it. You know, like I said when I started, that this is my first time of going live. I'm just trying it out. I don't know how I performed. Well, I'll definitely come back tonight, maybe much later in the night, maybe around 9 or so. I will definitely come back. You know, there's so many, we have so much to discuss. We have so much to talk about. Let me put myself together and know how I fared. Then next time, I think it will be better. I want to thank the people that joined. From Vicky, thank you so much for your support. You have always supported me, always from day one. Even when I didn't know what I was doing, you have always been there for me. And Chinelo's dad, Chinelo, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming to see what I'm doing. I will definitely come back again. This is what I've been doing from time to time, so that as I do it, I know I will get better at it. We have to really talk about what is happening in our nation. Everybody, all of us are stakeholders. We cannot keep quiet. All of us cannot run away. It's not everybody that can go abroad and live. Most of us are not cut out for that. We want to be here. This is the only country I have where I can be president or anything is here, not any other place. So I'm contributing my own quota. If this is how I will contribute to the development of the nation, to the development of the society, so be it. Let me do my bit. If each and every one of us, you do your bit, I do my bit, together we'll do much more. So that's all I have to say for now. I have to go off. Let me do like these protesters. They have gone to be strategized to return better, So Let me go off now to re-strategize and see what I can come up with much later. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again. Bye.